Déjà vu. David here has a second chance to kill the king of Israel. Good Tuesday morning. Saul returns to the wilderness of Ziph, accompanied by 3,000 of his best soldiers. This time, he does not intend to let David get away. Saul pitches camp, and David remains in the wilderness. This time, things are going to be a lot different than the last time these two met in this place. The first time, David was seeking to retreat while Saul was advancing. Now it is Saul whose soldiers are camped and David who's taking the initiative. David's spies locate Saul's camp and inform David, who approaches with his men. David looks down on Saul's camp, sees Saul asleep in the center of the camp, easily identified by his size. Next to Saul lies his uncle, commander of the army, Abner. And around Saul and Abner radiate 3,000 soldiers looking like concentric ripples when a rock is thrown into a calm pool of water. David does not use Saul's spear against him, but Saul gets the point. Saul recognizes his own sin in dealing with David. The word return here is significant. Saul has been a part of the sin of driving David out of the land, away from the opportunity to worship God. Then he would now confess his sin and give up his pursuit of David so that he may safely return to the place of worship. Because David regards Saul's life as precious, Saul promises to regard David's life as precious. Saul confesses he sinned and that in his sin he's been guilty of this very serious error to which David refers. In response to Saul's confession and promise of amnesty, David shouts, "Behold the spear of the king. Now let one of the young men come over and take it." It does appear that the spear was a symbol of authority in the ancient world. David does not presume to keep the symbol of authority that belongs to Saul, so he calls one of Saul's men to fetch it. Although the Lord delivered Saul into David's hands, David does him no harm because he is the Lord's anointed. David therefore looks to the Lord to reward him for his deeds on this night. While Saul and his men put themselves in jeopardy by accusing and pursuing David as a sinner and a criminal, David is assured that his life is safe in the hands of God. As David has highly valued the life of Saul, he knows that God highly values his life, and thus he is assured God will indeed deliver him. Saul's final words are a pronouncement of blessing on David, with the assurance that he will accomplish great things and that in the end David will prevail. With these words, the two men part company for the very last time. They shall not meet again because the time of Saul's death draws near. Saul returns to his place, but David goes on his way. David knows better than to think Saul's repentance is genuine. There's a message here for those who, like Saul, wrongly accuse the godly. God will defend his own. God defends the innocent, and he will bring about justice for the afflicted. In this brief period of time, God turned the tables on the enemies of David. It was not David who was in grave danger, but those who opposed him. Let the enemies of God's chosen ones take note, and let his chosen ones take courage.